What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, man. So Richard Jefferson, I don't always agree with some of his takes, but today he was preaching to the choir when it comes to some of these proposed changes that may come uh, next year with the NBA is concerned. Now they're already talking about changing what is it, the top how they vote as far as like the top uh, 15 players in the league or whatever. Instead of going by position, they're going to go by like who they just think is the best player. They've been doing this for decades, decades of tradition about how they vote for the top players. Um, as far as by position, like we know how they just announced the first team, second team, third team. They might just go the best players, you know. But what really gets me is now they're talking about shortening the season from 82 games to 72 games for real. And Richard Jefferson was like, enough is enough, man. Look, you guys are already getting paid a lot of money, okay? You get paid more money than guys just 20 years ago could ever imagine. A big salary 20 years ago was making 20 million a year. That was a big salary, 20 million a year. Still a big salary. You got guys now that are going to be making close to $50 million a season. And it's going to go up. And it'd be one thing if we were getting the grand basketball of the 60s, 70s, well, 60s, some of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. If we were getting that type of basketball, you wouldn't hear a motherfucking peep from me. But as Richard Jefferson already said, you already have guys who don't play with the littlest of injuries. You can have a pinky finger injury and they miss 3 games, right? Then what happens when you miss games? Your conditioning gets off. Then you got to get back into shape as far as conditioning is concerned. All it takes is what 1 week off and you lose your win. Then like they said, all-star festivities. It used to be 3 days. Now it's a week. They don't have back-to-backs in the playoffs anymore. As you can see, they're having 3 games apart as far as the finals are concerned. They're getting all the rest they want. I remember as recently as when I was in high school, they were still doing some back-to-back playoff games. All right. Nobody plays 82 games anymore. Shit. You got stars. Suppose stars in the league playing 55, 60 games. That's fine. People praising Kawhi Leonard. He misses one fourth of the season. That's cool. They get all these luxuries, private jets. They don't fly commercial because it's beneath them. They get the lavish lifestyles. They got sleep coaches, which I forgot about. Access to the greatest healthcare in the world. And they got a nerve to fucking complain about being criticized. Now, some of the criticism goes too far. And if you're Stephen A. Smith, your criticism can affect somebody's pockets, like Kyrie Irving, which I know you're doing on purpose. But come on, man. You can't take some Joe Schmo saying he thinks you suck, somebody in the crowd saying you suck and it's a problem. And the thing about it, you're supposed to be bigger, faster, stronger, right? All these athletes are bigger, faster, stronger. We keep hearing this shit. JJ Redick and everybody else, but you guys can't do what the firemen could do 50 years ago. Ever since the late 60s, they've been playing 82 games. Ever since the beginning of the 60s, it's been 80 games. Then it was increased to 81 and 82. You can't do that. You can't do what the late Bob Lanier could do. You can't do what an old Wilt could do. You can't do what an old Bill Russell could do. You can't do what Bob McAdoo could do. You couldn't do what Jamal Wilkes could do. You can't do what Randy Smith could do for years without missing a fucking game. 906 consecutive games. Ain't nobody in NBA gonna come close to that shit. That's not even a record anymore. You can't do what AC Green could do, which is to play in 1,192 consecutive games. But these guys are a bunch of firemen, according to JJ Redick. Huh? You guys supposed to be these grand athletes, and you can't fucking play 10 games in a fucking row. And let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that the physicality has been cut out of the game. They don't have to deal with a bruiser like Wilt Chamberlain, knocking them in their motherfucking mouth, or thugs, like fucking Bill Laimbeer. They have to deal with that. They got to deal with a Charles Oakley knocking them on their ass. They got to deal with a Xavier McDaniel doing the same thing. No. So what are you complaining about? You can't play 82 games? So yeah, I applaud Richard Jefferson, man, 100%. Enough is enough.